Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Chris Aquariums. This week I had a little bit of trouble with my clownfish, so let me show you what's been going on. Now, as you know, we've had these guys for a bit under 2 weeks now, so not too long. But this guy over here has developed some kind of growth. So you can see on these gills over there. Let me turn this filtration down a little bit. You can see it right over there on his gill. And it's not as easy to see, but by his ventricle at the bottom of the fish as well, he's also got a little bit of a growth protruding. See that there. Now, I've never seen this before in my fish keeping hobby. Granted, this is the first time I'm doing salt water, but I haven't actually encountered a lot of illnesses or ick or anything like that in my hobby. The only thing I have ever encountered is ick, which I treated and is quite easy. So I've been lucky that I haven't had anything fungal or bacterial or anything like that in the past. So these guys are right from the fish store. So obviously they've come from either the ocean, but hopefully with clownfish from a breeder, and then from the breeder to the fish store and into the aquarium. I've had them for a bit under 2 weeks, about a week and a half now. So just by the way, the other fish is fine, perfectly fine. So the highest likelihood is that it had something it contracted at the pet store that it's been carrying, and in the last week and a half it's been showing. Now, he was perfectly fine, nothing visible until yesterday, so it kind of just popped up overnight. I sent it to a fish group that I'm part of, and no one really gave very good feedback, to be honest. So no one's really sure what it is. Some people say ick, but it doesn't look like ick to me. Ick is like little white spots that look like salt or sugar. This is a protruding object. So, with that being said, I'm going to go to the fish store. I'm going to pick up a little something to hopefully get it sorted out, and I'll be back. So I'm just coming back from the fish store, and I've picked something up called Paragard. And it pretty much covers everything that I think it could be. So it says eradicates ectoparasites and fungal, bacterial, and viral lesions. So for me, that kind of ticks all the boxes, and I think should cover pretty much what it could be. And I mean, we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so we're back, and I've got the Paragard with me here. It was about 183 Rand, what's that, $12. And the fish itself was only around $10 or so. But obviously we've got to make sure that the health of the fish is the most important thing. And also, while the other fish does look completely fine, doesn't show anything, you know, you don't want it to carry cross as well. So we're going to start putting this in. Like I said, eradicates ectoparasites and fungal, bacterial, and viral lesions. A safer alternative to formalin, marine and freshwater. So I'm going to take a look at the directions. I'm going to dose it in the tank. I did put in some activated carbon in the filter last night in case there's anything in the water, just to remove it. But activated carbon often also eradicates whatever you put in the tank like this. It's supposed to be taking out any impurities. It views this as an impurity, so you have to take the activated carbon out of the filter before you put any medications into the tank. So it's very important to note. So let me have a look, and we're going to start dosing the Paragard. I see it even says here right at the top of the directions, remove chemical filtration. So that's going to be the activated carbon. Okay, the activated carbon is out of the filter, and we're going to start putting in the Paragard. The directions say 5 milliliters or 1 capful for every 40 liters. This is a 60-liter tank, so we're going to put in 7.5 milliliters. It's actually 65 with the filter, so we're going to put in 7.5, 8 milliliters. Divided by 8. Yep, 8 milliliters. You know, I've never had this before, but this is something that can happen. As you saw when we got the fish, we tested all the water parameters, everything was fine. But when you're working with pet stores, this is very common to happen because you have so many fish going in and coming out of tanks from so many different breeders and oceans and all that, so the chances are something is going to get in. Typically you should quarantine your fish, but as this is a new tank with no other inhabitants than the ones we just got, this is the quarantine tank. So as with the quarantine tank, you got to treat for anything that they come in with. So we're going to measure out 8 milliliters. All right, let's put this in the tank. Okay, 8, yeah. And the flow of the filter will move it around. And that's it. So the directions say repeat daily until fish is no longer under stress, or I guess showing no other evidence of whatever it is you're trying to treat. So that's it for now. That's all we can do. As I said, the other fish is fine, but we want to make sure we treat whatever it is so it doesn't spread. And hopefully this will work out. Also, we're going to repeat this daily until we don't see any more problems. And that's all we can do for now. So that's it for the saltwater tank. Before we sign off, there's just a quick something. We do have a new addition to the fish family. Some family of mine who are busy moving, they had extra goldfish and they said, would you guys like to take it? I was like, yeah, sure, perfect. We've got a pond, it'll fit in well. So here's some of the footage of that fish, the tank that it was in, and obviously the pond that it's in now with our 2 pearl scales. And that's it for today's episode, guys. Like I said, I'm here to take you along on the journey. The good, the bad, the ugly, the things that we can control, the things that we can't control. It's all part of fish keeping. It's all part of the hobby. Things that some people see on YouTube and things that aren't seen on YouTube. It's all here and I want to take you guys through it with me. So that's today's episode. If you want to carry on watching and seeing what's happening with this tank and my tropical tank and the ponds, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment if you do know something that I don't know on this situation and what's happening in this tank. And otherwise, I will see you guys once again, as always, on Chris Aquariums.